We could call technique number 8 connecting with higher self. In technical coach jargon, we could call this perceptual positions or submodalities. But if we want to keep it simple and not get too fancy with it, what we want to do with this technique is be able to help someone dissociate from themselves, which is a really powerful stepping back technique, and associate into another person or entity in order to get access to a completely different point of view, which opens up when you have a new point of view. Now, all of a sudden you have new possibilities that you didn't have before. And there are many ways that you can get fancy with perceptual positions, but I'm keeping it simple and calling it connecting with higher self, because what I really want to do is help my client dissociate from themselves and associate into however they define their higher power, or that which is greater, whatever you want to call it. So what I'll do is ask the client to find a spot on the floor or designate another chair in their room as spirit or God, or however they define that which is greater. And then I'm going to ask the client to move into that position. And when I'll say, in just a moment, when you step into the God chair, you're going to sort of become one with that energy. You got to be careful with people's beliefs. You don't necessarily want to say you're going to become God or whatever. If something's going to offend someone, that's not what we're after. What we're after is how can you get someone to connect to that which is greater? So you name the chair and say you're going to connect with God in the God chair, and you're going to speak as if it were God's voice or the universe's voice or whatever. And that when the client goes into that other position on the floor or the other chair, you have them land there, close their eyes, connect with that which is greater, and they're going to speak from the voice of that which is greater, which has access to far more possibility and knowledge than we have. And when they are in that position, not only are they connected to that which is greater, what's going to happen is they're going to move from sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic nervous system. So from stress to relaxation almost immediately. So they're going to move into relaxation mode. They're going to be connected to that which is greater. So their body's going to be relaxed, the critter brain defenses are down, and then that which is greater is going to be fueling their ideas. And then I'm going to, once the client speaks from the point of view of that which is greater, I'm going to say, okay, great. Now we're going to take all of those learnings and go back to your original chair and bring them back to your spot. And they're going to bring all that energy, that beautiful, loving, open, energy of possibility, energy of that which is greater, into the original chair where they started. And they're going to feel completely different than when you began this technique. Stacey, is there anything that I'm missing here in terms of how I'm describing this?
No, I think this is really wonderful. The idea behind perceptual positions, if you think about looking at a painting, have you ever looked at a painting one way and you saw a certain imagery, but if you were to turn it sideways or upside down, it looks like something completely different? Physically moving a client into a different space can help them see things from a different angle and therefore get a different point of view, literally and metaphorically. So it helps expand our awareness and see things a little differently, because sometimes the feeling of anxiety or fear, it's that powerlessness, it's that I'm stuck, I'm trapped, there's no way out. And really what that is a limitation in our perception, meaning that if on the menu is only one choice, and the choice is I'm royally screwed, either die now or suffer something worse later. If that's all you got on the menu, then naturally you're going to feel a lot of fear and anxiety, right? But if we shift even 1 degree or into another chair, as Carrie just just demonstrated, then it widens the perspective. It enriches the menu of choice about how we see things. And once we start to get past more two options and more on the menu, we feel less stuck, less fearful, more powerful. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the good stuff right there.
That's the good stuff. That's the goody gush.
That's the goody gush.
So this is a lot of rich stuff that we've just shared. I realize we're going very fast here. This is, after all, a masterclass. So if some of these techniques are feeling strange or different to you, just remember that this is a masterclass. And you are all, if you're in our Become a Health Coach program or you're in our Coach Mastery graduate program, that these are some of the kind of more nuanced and sophisticated tools that you can use to facilitate deep, lasting transformation for people. So if these are a little unfamiliar to you, that's okay. Know that you're building layers. And even if you just pick up one thing today in this masterclass that you might use, that you're already making progress. So see yourself, pick up the nugget that you came for, that decide to get at least one breakthrough from this master class. Doesn't mean you have to get everything, but keep coming back and listen to it again and again. That's why we're open sourcing this and why there will be a replay. You can come back and listen again, and maybe next time, the second time you hear it, you'll go, oh, now I get it. Now that makes a lot of sense. So before we continue, go ahead and put some comments in the chat about how you're metabolizing this. Is this helpful to you? What is something you just learned? Again, let's keep metabolizing and integrating as we go. So if you put something in the chat, that's going to help you integrate this material that we're sharing. So hi to, hi Heidi. Carol says this is pure gold. Awesome. Yes, Joe Green says perceptual positioning was really helpful. Jackie says connecting with higher self is very helpful. Great. Good. A lot of people saying it's very helpful. Control audit. Eva?
I was going to say it's a coach's sort of simple laser technique. Whenever you connect someone to their higher self, it's like immediate opening. It's pretty immediate. You know, it's one of my favorite tricks.